right now on Full Custom Garage. Master metalman Ian Roussel brings his wild vision to the world of Volkswagen bugs.
I built a couple radical bugs, and looking around, I'm seeing stock ones, nothing crazy. It makes me want to chop one up and build something really wild.
With his hands on a stock bug and a head full of ideas, it's on.
I have a couple ideas I'm not 100% sure of. It's kind of uncharted territory. I'm just going for it. I'm going to cut the whole car into pieces. You got to be a little reckless if you want to get the best stuff.
And later, when Ian shifts gears into a different project, the pressure's on.
These clients are buying the car sight unseen. I know that I've done my best work. I can only hope that they appreciate it. I really like Volkswagens. It was one of those things growing up in New York, you just didn't see them. So for me, they became a very special car. They had total character, especially Baja bugs or custom VWs. You just never saw them on the East Coast. So really, that's what became so appealing. They were rare. I've been working on this bug for about 18 months. It all started with this little toy somebody gave me. I've always been into VWs, so I saw this thing and I'm like, hey, I could build this. I could make a full-size one. I was really just kind of showing off in building this whole thing. This was just like an experiment. It's got custom everything. The chassis got a lot of tubular structure in it. It's chopped radically. It's really changed around from a stock car. I wasn't really pushing on finishing this car. I'm always working on a lot of projects, so this car is sitting in the side of the shop most of the time. The front suspension just needs to be finished, and it's a runner. And I'm really just kind of lagging. I'm looking for some inspiration to get it done. I haven't been involved in the VW world. I haven't even been to a car show or read magazines in forever. So I think I want to go out and just kind of see what's happening in the scene. We're at the VW Classic in Irvine, California, one of the largest VW shows in the world. Just looking to see what's new and hot. I haven't been to many Volkswagen shows in the past few years. You know, VW Bug is my first car. It's what I drove all through high school. Having not been to a show in a number of years, it's good to see the scene is still happening. I'm here looking at the swap meet for some parts for the build and definitely for some inspiration. This is an all VW show, so there's only VW parts at the swap meet. I specifically was looking for some cool rims, maybe some wheel adapters, and some headlights. Well, the most important thing in any swap meet is the footwork. Because nobody's advertising what they have, so you just gotta search it out. Things I'm looking for are typically in cardboard boxes or milk crates. They're not very showy, but you gotta find it. For me, this is shopping. I like stuff in cardboard boxes. I'm looking for shapes. Anything that's cool, you know, I have a mental registry and I'm flipping through it. If I see anything that looks like it'll fit, it's coming home. It's almost what we need. I was surprised how conservative the scene seems to have gotten. There was a lot of resto customs, basically like a restored car that's modified. And I guess that really just shows that these cars are becoming increasingly valuable. People aren't hacking them up the way I had seen in the 80s and early 90s. Every car that I'm building is kind of an artistic statement, and what I'm seeing here is really a big nod of respect to the factory engineers. Nobody's cutting these things up as crazy as I have been accustomed to seeing. Everybody agrees, most times it's the rim and tire combination that can make the car. The white and blue, it totally works. The body on this car is pretty stock, but obviously they went to town on the suspension. Looks like it's got a narrowed front beam, and I kind of like how it's all cambered out in the back end. It just looks like somebody squished it. This is a typical thing you see with VWs with a swing axle. When you lower them, the tires literally swing around the center arc, so you know that this is pretty much a stock floor pan. That's why the rear tires are so bent out of shape, but it looks cool. It's not good for the tire wear, but I kind of like it. It's good to see a number of different year cars that were chopped. You could see the challenges that you face when you cut the roof on a car. So when you chop the top, this panel changes, and you can see the shape of the rear window changes pretty drastically. It kind of has to do with the B-pillar too. So it's just one of the things you got to think about when you're making the cuts. Even though VWs are getting harder and harder to find for restoration or a custom, by looking at today's attendance, you know the scene is happening. Seeing all these cars like this, you really get a sense of the cookie cutter catalog cars. Everything's identifiable. That makes me want to make something even crazier. Because what stands out? The one you can't figure out, right? That's where I come in. It's kind of funny. I went to this VW show to get inspiration to finish up the car I'm working on, but it got me charged up to go in a whole new direction. I really think I can pull off a really awesome chop top. I know Bill's got a car, so here we go, another project. Bill's a client of mine. We've worked together on a bunch of projects. He's got more stuff than I can ever imagine. I put labor into his projects for his treasures, so we do a lot of horse trading. Bill and I were talking about this VW Bug project I had. He mentions, coincidentally, he's got one laying back here. Somebody changed the doors for some reason. It's pretty solid too, look at the rocker panels. Southwest car. There's no floor pan, no kind of VIN tag of any type, so I really don't know what year this is. He said he thought it was a 64 or 65. It's in really good shape. This is a perfect start. Somebody stripped everything out of it. I don't have any carpet to remove. It's off of its floor pan. I have another floor pan at the shop I can put this on just to make sure everything is square. All the door gaps look good. I don't think the car was crashed. It's never been rolled over. He said it was a Baja Bug, so I don't think it was jumped too hard or really freaked out on. This is freaking perfect. There's no preparation. I thought, usually you get a car, you gotta pull all the dead rats and bubblegum wrappers out of it. This thing is just clean metal. It's ready to go. I don't know how heavy these things are. Whoa. She is. Hi-ya. Get this thing harnessed up, get her back to the shop. All right, let's get the heck out of here. I have a couple ideas I'm not 100% sure of. It's kind of uncharted territory. I'm just going for it. I'm gonna cut the whole car into pieces. It really helps me out to see a car on a chassis with rolling gear. That's the whole reason I pulled this stock VW pan in, just to get a look, a starting point. I think this is how they did it in the factory. Back in Germany, I think this is how they assembled them. My whole thing is I'm working with existing parts, so I need all the stuff that fit around the body to make it convincing. I don't want to sketch it, I want a three-dimensional view of it. Perfect fit. The hard part about building this way is you're just stacking a lot of parts. I'm moving car bodies, tires, frames, it's a lot of work. Putting it on the floor pan, you see it. It looks like a typical Bug. Everybody's got one. It makes me want to cut it up, change it around. This is a good reference to see there's no weight in the car. The VW is a great off-road vehicle, so you can see that this, as a Baja Bug, it had tons of ground clearance, plenty of headroom, big windows, you could see all the obstacles you're approaching. That's not what I want. It's a pretty tall car. I want it about that high. This new Bug, I'm really just trying to one-up a couple things in the chop I just did. Namely the windshield height and just the general appearance of it. There's a couple subtle changes, but I know I can move through this thing fast, and that's the whole plan. Just if I can reproduce this, maybe people will buy them. Maybe I can get better and better at it and sell them. I'm making this bug different than the blue one for a reason. When you look at that car, it's really wedged down in the front. That's what I was going for. This one's gonna have a mellower, straight down look. I want this car to be really fast. I want it to be just wild, just totally custom, my own build. This car will look like a Volkswagen that's been modified, but underneath the outer skin, it'll be completely my own work. My plan for this is to cut it apart, piece it back together on the floor, and see how it looks. I took off the doors just to lighten the whole thing up. I'm cutting the roof off. The C-pillar's a pretty big deal, so I just want to get everything out of the way. Once I got the doors off, I had to figure out how I was going to go about cutting the rear of the C-pillars out. There's a million ways to cut a car. The VW in the rear in the C-pillar is kind of a unique shape, so I'm choosing to just delete it. It's going to be easier to build it back than to try to modify it. I needed to cut out the whole rear package tray. The reason is the body's narrower, so it's just fast for me to get it out of the way and build a new one. The whole trick with this is I'm leading the whole chop off of the A-pillars. Everything else is built to fit. So as long as the body's square and the A-pillars fit, carry on. It appeared I didn't mark the side of the car before I cut it, because I didn't. I'm that good. I know these cars. I just freaking go. That's why it's so quick. There's two ways to chop a top. You can either widen the roof to fit the body, or you can narrow the body to fit the roof. And I found that narrowing the body is a lot easier. You gotta be a little reckless if you want to get the best stuff. By cutting a car up and piecing and placing stuff, by mocking up pieces instead of like having a set definition of where you're going, it allows room for that little nuance, that thing that could potentially take it over the edge. And I just love the feeling of being a little reckless. I'm confident enough to be able to pull it off. Now that I got the roof off, I'm just gonna get this chassis out of here. I wanna lay it out on the floor so I can really see how it looks. What I'm doing here is just mocking up the pieces of the body. The reason I cut this car right in half was because as the top comes down, this is a triangle, so it's gonna fall through these upright posts. What I'm gonna do is cut right through the center of the body. Well, you know what? I'm gonna cut 4 inches out of the windshield right now, and then we'll stick it on there and see. Chopping a top takes a lot of measuring, and I just try to make it easy as possible. 3M gave us a whole bunch of tape, so I just used a 3/4 inch tape, marked it out, and cut it straight ahead. It's just easier for me to lay out tape. A lot of people do that. So you got 3/4 times 3, that's 2 1/4 inch. My aim here is to minimize the amount of finish work. I'm only chopping through the pillars so that there's less body work and finish time. If I was to cut the whole roof skin, it's a ton of hammer welding, Bondo, sanding, etc. By keeping these areas that I'm cutting pretty small, it's going to be a lot easier to finish up. So what I've been describing is as the roof comes down in height, these dimensions between the window openings get further and further from where they were. You can see on the inside here is 39 3/4. But now, where they come together, this inside is 41. So The lower the roof gets, the more mismatched they are. Most people will split the roof and make it wider to take care of that, but I like the idea of making the car smaller. Narrowing the body is really fast because you don't have to cut through that big dome in the roof. That's a huge welding procedure. Narrowing the body makes it fast. That's bottom line. My plan for this car right now is to have a front engine, so eventually all of this, or the majority of it, will be gone. But just so I can get a good look, I'm gonna trim it nice, put it together, and chop the hell out of it later. Ultimately, I will measure out and line all this up, but right now I'm just tacking it. These proportions might change. Those cuts are pretty darn close though, almost like a professional did it. I'm gonna tack this up pretty strong because these are gonna be the lead off on the rest of the chop. It's a 4-inch chop in the windshield pillars. Yeah, I think that's perfect. This rear window is obviously way too low. Something I was really stuck on was how this rear window was gonna fit. When I chopped it, it was too low, it was too big, it was all wrong in the back. I'm gonna cut out this window frame completely. I'm gonna move the top up 5 or 6 inches, and then I'm gonna bring the bottom up. So I'll chop the rear window, whatever looks right also. In my opinion, is the smaller the glass, the better. What that does is gives you more paint area. It looks like a larger sheet metal shape. And that's Trike. See, it just brought the whole window frame up. And now if you look around the car, the windows are all at pretty much the same height. And in the end, I'm gonna figure out how much smaller the back window gets. Trucking along on this body, got a lot of bracing and stuff. The plan for me right now is to weld in the top of the window. I definitely like the line. If you look here, how this line comes through, visually, that flows around pretty cool. I like that. Taking a lot of time just to step back and look at it. It's all about the visual impact that it has. The window openings are very important to me. I think I'm just gonna cut these 2 little tail pieces off and stick a tire under there and look at it. I have a lot of experience with moving Volkswagen bodies. So this is pretty much how I build everything. You know, you can draw stuff, but I really find it easier to just stack parts. That looks freaking bitchin'. Now that I got the body together, I want to put the doors on and fit out the window surrounds. I'm really stoked to see this thing mocked up. Put some doors on, see if that doesn't change the look. Okay, looks great. Now that I got the doors on, it's time to just fit out the rest of the sheet metal. It's all about detail. I'm gonna spot this in right now. just trimmed off 4 inches from this upright to match the roof, and it's pretty close. All right, that's tacked temporarily. You can see how much work's gonna have to go into that later, but hey, looks good from this side. I'll weld all around the seams, then there'll be 2 little spot welds that hold the old sheet metal. I'll dent it in a little bit, slick it with Bondini, call her done. This is what makes the chop. It seems like a little detail, but the fit and finish is what really makes it count. Got the door top on, it's a ton of time, it's very close. All the outside is done. It looks great. I'm very happy with it. The whole deal with making this chop a little bit better than the other ones is making the windshield smaller. The early Beetles had a really cool front shape on the roof, and as the years progressed, the windshield got bigger and bigger. So me making a small windshield just makes it look older, which I consider cooler. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna lap that right on the inside of that. Call her good. That's the plan, man. The reason I'm able to pull off these projects to completion is because I got my act together. Even though I wing it with these projects, it's not like I'm freaking loose, 3 sheets to the wind, you know, just flying through it. This is all a disciplinary thing. You know, just because I act like I'm going into this all fun and frolic, it's all because I'm comfortable with it. So I'm just gonna sheet this really easy. I'll do a couple pie cuts here to bring that in, but that's later. Today's mission is just get that back window to this point. The whole thing about a chop, for me, is getting the proportions right. So I knew what I wanted in the windshield, but coming around the back, it's just fit it up, figure it out. Every time I start a car, I'm just falling in love. I don't think about how much work it's gonna be. I know how much work it's gonna be, but I can't think about that. You just gotta go for it. That's 5 inches out of the rear winder. So the idea here is that this line is gonna roll right through. Nice. Come out under this. Now the car looks like a chop top. That is perfect. So I got this Baja Bug hood from my good friend Don. He's got tons of stuff laying around. He had this fiberglass hood. I decided to use this fiberglass hood because it's a little shorter. Looking at the Blue Bug, the hood is really close to the ground. The fiberglass hood that I'm using is quite a bit shorter. It's from a Baja Bug, and I think it's just gonna look cool. The car's 2 inches narrower than it was, so the fiberglass hood's gonna have to get narrowed too. I'm just gonna cut a big V groove out of it and piece it back together. The pie cut, close her up, give her a clamp. All you fiberglass savvy guys, you can sit back, enjoy a cold beverage, and watch the clown go to work. While I was waiting for the fiberglass to dry, I just finished up the driver's side rear window and the B-pillar. The primary difference between the way I work and someone who thinks out the whole thing beforehand is that I leave an opening for that nuance, you know? That's the great artist. That's the thing that makes the difference, is the unexpected. And I leave a lot of room for the unexpected. I totally get that my approach to this is not the standard procedure, but I've made it my whole career to be creative, and that's really what this is about. I don't want to have a job. I don't want to conform. I want to be creative. That's what I'm doing. That looks pretty good. Still gonna get a bunch more Bondo, hammer, dolly work, etc. But this is the metal fab. This is all the grinding and welding for the chop. The only way to explain if a chop looks good or not is to just look at it. It's really an individual take on it, you know? It depends what you're trying to do with the statement of the car. So I guess the worst case scenario is the windows are ill-fitting. You know, the lines look kinked, they're not smooth, and that's really what I'm trying to work past, just make it look factory. What you're witnessing here is the transformation of a VW Beetle into an awesome freaking hot rod. Now that it's laid out on the floor, this car is bitchin'. I think it's a keeper. There's always so many projects going on. I got this bug that I'm currently chopping, and it turns out there's a buyer for the blue bug. It's pretty crazy. I found a buyer randomly through word of mouth. This couple up in Canada heard that I built this car, and they want to buy it sight unseen. That's cool, but there's a bunch of stuff I gotta button up. To get this car rolling, I just gotta do a couple things to the front suspension and some minor interior work. Just trim it out and this car's done. Blue Bug's been in storage for a while. I got it in another shop. I only got a couple days to make this happen, so I gotta get to it. Found this cool Ford axle. It must be a British Ford, I'm not sure. It's very narrow and super lightweight. I was thinking about how to improve it and kind of make it unique. Typically, the axle is a solid axle. These two centers are just joined. My idea with it was to split it, sort of like you see the later model Ford trucks, the independent I-beams. So I cut the axle in half. I took these bushings from leaf spring and just welded them in. So now the axle is sprung independently. Getting this front suspension dialed in isn't a lot of work, but it's technical. The handling of the car, the safety of the car, depends on this front axle behaving correctly. All the proportions of the car are different. It's 2 inches narrower than it was. So I thought maybe this little axle would fit the narrower car, but even still, when I set it up in mock-up, it just looked like it needed to be wider. So I split it in half. I built this bracket. You can see it's about, I don't know, 8 inches wider than it used to be. And now it looks like it belongs that way. I'm gonna use air shocks on this car to suspend it. Being that it's such a lightweight vehicle, I can get away with it. Most of the times you'll see a leaf spring with this setup, but I think air shocks are gonna be fine. So the air shocks just bolt in like this, kind of at a diagonal angle. But I'm not gonna hook them up to test this out because it's just gonna restrict the movement. But you can see how they just fit in. It's pretty crazy that this axle bolts right to the VW wheels. I don't know. Maybe somebody out there knows what's up. I'll tell you, it works. I guess if you look at it from this angle, you can really see how drastically cambered the tire is. And that's not gonna work for me. If this thing should get loose, unweight, tires are gonna tuck under and the car's gonna flip over, guaranteed. Problem with an off-camber suspension is if the car unweights, the tire tucks under and the car flips over. VWs are notorious for this. I'm making it worse because the front is doing the same as the rear. Typically a VW Bug, if it flips over because of this situation, it's because of the swing axle rear end. This car has sort of a swing axle front end as well. So it's gotta be kept under control or this thing's gonna be loose. So this is the air shock that is basically limiting the up and down suspension travel right now. It's all on the shock. There's nothing else on the car to stop it from moving. The whole thing to make this suspension work is bump stops and limiting straps. That keeps the axle in position. What the off-road trucks do is they use a limiting strap. It's kind of like seatbelt material. It's doubled up, stitched really strong. So as this guy is trying to open as the tire falls out, this guy limits the travel of the arm. The limiting straps were easy, simple bolt-on, but the up travel of the axle has to be controlled too. So the limiting straps, they only took care of half of the issue. They're stopping the tire from dropping out. But still, it can come up. If you were to hit a big bump at speed, it would slam the shock shut and ultimately ruin it. You could do it a couple times, but we need to have some kind of a limiter to stop the axle from moving up. So for the up travel, I just ordered these bump stops from a catalog. Contrary to popular belief, I do order stuff from catalogs from time to time. The whole deal with ordering these bump stops is they're new, they're good, I need them. Simple rubber block with a bolt in it. They're meant to take the axle bouncing around like crazy on an off-road car. Every fabrication has its look. This car has a lot of tube elements in the whole front end. So for me, getting these bump stops mounted, it's gotta be a piece of tube and it's gotta look like it belongs in the car. When you're fitting something into an existing structure, there's always some kind of loose ends to button up. This piece has to be really strong. The entire weight of the front of the car is transferred through one bump stop when it hits something. I ended up making all these gusset shapes to just be strong and also look good. I didn't want a bunch of loose fitting pieces. So really, I just wanted to make the thing look right and be strong. I think that did it. All mechanical parts wear, things change. I made all this stuff adjustable, so as the car ages, you can adjust everything so it keeps the tires in the right position. Yeah, so that's cool because they could be put into here at that height or locked all the way up, so it'll give you an adjustable bump stop. Pretty slick. It works. That's what I'm saying, just driving down the street, you don't need more than that. It's great. The attitude of a car and the car's face are defined by its headlights. These headlights are pretty crazy. They're actually pieces of spun aluminum that I found in the scrapyard. So I really made this whole unit. I had some glass lenses and I made everything else. They're seal beam bulbs that I glued in behind these antique lenses. So they're 12-volt high-low beams. They look like vintage car parts, but they're handmade. Really badass. The other cool feature is the way they mount on the car. So it's a round tube. So they're adjustable up and down. You can move them in and out because you'll see when you steer, it's very close. Like so. And when the hood shuts, these strange little shapes clear the hood. When you look at it, it looks like a face. So I wanted them to be in the right position, wanted them to be the right size, and I really just tailored the whole mounting bracket so that it was clean and invisible. When you look at it, it looks like there's just two bug eyes looking at you. I made suicide doors on the car. You can buy a kit. I didn't want to do that. I was really just doing this for me. So to show off, I made some really cool suicide door hinges. So all this is developing too. I made my own hinge setup. This is the same stock as the headlights are made of, just I think 3/4, 7/8 solid round. Had a couple gate hinges, heavy duty with grease fittings. I made a bracket, welded it up inside the V-pillar here. I went suicide doors because I built a really radical VW once and I didn't do suicide doors. The first question out, why didn't you do suicide doors? So I figured, now nobody's got anything to say. What didn't I do? I haven't even driven this car. The measure of a car is how it drives, right? So I've really only started the engine up. I gotta take this thing out and spin it around and see how it behaves. Car is a blast. The crazy thing about this car is it is like a go-kart. I mean, it's miniature inside. It's really sectioned down, but it's a ton of fun to drive. It handles awesome, and the 50 horsepower that it has really makes it appear to be a strong runner. It's a ton of fun. It's like a big kid's go-kart. I got this car in just under the wire. The clients are on their way down. They're road tripping all the way from Canada to pick this thing up. And I really haven't even had time to enjoy it. I get to drive it around the parking lot a couple times, and then it's in the trailer and off to Canada. I've been working on this car for about 18 months, and it's pretty cool to see somebody just say, I want your work, we'll take it. These clients are buying the car sight unseen. I got a deposit wired into my bank account, and all they've seen is pictures and video of the car. So I'm a little nervous when they show up. I really don't know what they're expecting. I know that I've done my best work. I can only hope that they appreciate it. The most flattering thing really is that they know of me. They know the cars I've built, and they really wanted a piece of my work. That's the ultimate compliment. Hello.
Hello, Vivian.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
Right on.
Vivian.
So here's that thing.
That's sick. Wow. That's crazy. Just crazy, man. My name is Mark Hayward. I'm from a little town outside of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Thought we'd come all the way down to California and meet Ian and pick up that beautiful little gem we got sitting over there. Oh, man.
But I fit. You're about 6'2", right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is gonna be all right, man. So this car here, I mean, I basically bought it sight unseen. It was just spur of the moment type of thing. Like I say, we corresponded on email, and he said, well, maybe you're interested in this Volkswagen I got. And he sent me a picture, and it was pretty much a done deal. I mean, how could you not? Just taking one look at that thing. It's phenomenal.
Very excited about having the car in our collection. And now we can take it back up to where we live, and I know it's going to be a showstopper wherever we take it. And that's something that we enjoy. We enjoy going to the car shows and having a one-of-a-kind car.
But the cool thing is when you're at the car show and you want to show off, you won't show everybody where the secret switch is, but you know, there's a secret switch under there, and then you just pop the doors like that to get in and out.
Oh yeah, this is gonna just, blow some people away.
I'm a little bummed I didn't get to enjoy the car, but the customers, they seem like they love it. They're really stoked on the paint color and the overall attitude of the car. It's a win-win situation for me because I've already got my mind set on the new car I'm building, and they're happy with what they got.
Oh yeah, I got something for you. I brought you something.
Okay, I heard that there was a little treasure in the trailer.
I got a little treasure in the trailer, all the way down from the frozen north.
Whoa, what the heck is that thing?
That's a 51 Henry J.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen one. It's pretty crazy. Mark brought down this Henry J. It's a bitchin' car. It looks like they're doing like a pro street thing. This car was sitting around Mark's garage for years. He's in no real rush to finish it, but he wants me to build it. That is a great compliment. That's crazy, and it has no trunk. What kind of car doesn't have a trunk?
We have lots of projects, both Viv and I, and I'll never get to them all, so it's like, okay, let's give one to Ian and see what he comes up with. And if it's anything like that Volkswagen over there, we're gonna get a pretty nice hot rod out of this. Seeing his work, you know, through the video, seeing the car now in person, yeah, I mean, I trust him 100%. I think it's just his creativity, and it gets down to his hands, and that's what he can fabricate and do. So, yeah, I have full faith in him to turn that project we just left him here into something. He's just a guy that can take nothing and build it into something. That is phenomenal in my book.
Pulling this car up next to a stock Bug really shows you the difference. My friend Todd had a stock VW, same year. When you put them side by side, you see what's going on.
Same exact car, you know. Only difference is
Ian's touch.
only difference is everything.
Mark and Vivian came down to pick up the blue Bug. Mark is claiming that it's his. Vivian's now talking about she wants a Bug. She wants a pink Bug to rival Mark's. I told her that I was chopping a new one, and she's all about it. So it looks like I might be building her a car now. This thing has snowballed into something ridiculous. They're picking up a car from me, they brought a car down from Canada, and now Vivian's talking about wanting a pink Bug to rival Mark's. All I know is I got a lot of cars to build.
Right now on Full Custom Garage, Master Metalman Ian Roussel transforms a 1949 International work truck.
The other times I pulled this off, there were cars. This is Big Bertha. This is heavy duty.
As the build gets rolling, Ian's client takes him to a top-notch truck show.
After seeing the rigs at the truck show, I knew we had to take this all the way.
He's very, very ambitious, and nothing's frightening to him. It is a little frightening to me.
With the project on the line, Ian's got to get down and make it happen.
I don't think Bill really wanted to go full bore with this truck, but my kind of crazy is contagious. My friend Bill's got a new project he wants to start. I've worked with him a few times in the past, and all of his stuff has been unique. I really can't wait to see what he's got.
I have a roll-off truck I haul trash with for myself and for clients. I have several containers, boxes that I can leave at clients. They can fill them. I can then go do something else. The roll-off truck is super versatile. I can haul a tractor, whatever, on the flatbed. I can haul material if I'm building something for my property. So it's very, very versatile. I don't want to work full-time at it, but it's fun for me the time that I get to do it. I like it a lot.
Bill's into custom cars. He wants a custom rig. He wants to do something cool.
What I want with the roll-off truck is something that's modern, with all the modern conveniences that they have, the automatics, the air brakes, the power steering, all that, but looks old, the old cab. That's what I'm shooting for.
I've done a lot of body swaps. This is nothing new to me. The only thing is that it's bigger.
I've been thinking about this project since Ian did the panel truck that I have. It's a '63 Ford panel truck.
I pulled a couple ballsy moves, and I think he respected me for that. I cut the car in half lengthwise because the donor vehicle was wider than the Falcon.
He cut it right down the center, took that whole chassis down to nothing, and put the Falcon right on top of it. Basically widened the car 6 inches.
In the end, that's Trick. Nobody's got it, and that's why I did it that way.
I've been wanting to do this truck project for a bit, and I've been getting pieces here, pieces there, parts. Some are real rough, and some will be usable.
Bill wants to put together a modern roll-off truck with a 1940s cab. He said he's been collecting parts for a while, so I want to check out what he's got. He told me he had a chassis identical to this one with a good running motor in it, and he had a bunch of old trucks laying around also. He wants me to just come take a look at what he's got and make a decision to build him a cool truck. It's pretty clear that Bill's an optimist. I think that he thinks that I can do anything, and he's pretty close. but he had a few things that were too far gone. This thing's pretty rough. Everything is fixable to a point, but I don't think this is the one. He had one cab that was up here that it looked like a freaking asteroid hit it. I don't know what to say. It was completely wasted. You can see where all the panels come together. Water's been sitting in there and it's just rotted from the inside out. I nixed that. He showed me a few other things he had laying around, and I really think this 48 International, it's a KB8. I think this is a perfect candidate. This is the one we're using.
The KB8 International that I ended up with came from Montana, and a pretty straight cab for a 1948. It reminds me very much of my childhood on the chicken farm. The first one we had was a similar body style, and I remember it well. So I'm excited about it, and I think it's gonna be cool.
It's got a couple dents in the roof, but there's no cancer. Only a little surface rust. Looking around, he's got this KB8. I liked it because there was no rot. Take a little hammering to get the roof back into shape, but it looks good. I think this is the one. Doors operate smoothly. Dash is there. They've usually been picked clean, but this is really sweet. It's got all the knobs, gauges. It's like super old school. It's cool. It's pretty crazy how a truck this big would have such a tiny little cab. I mean, to have two big guys in here, you know, going to work on the farm or whatever they're doing, not much room. It's all business in here. It's got the VIN number tags. It's legit. This is a good start. Seems like it's all here. There's pieces all over the place, but they all look good. Yeah, this is a really cool fender. I'm not familiar with the bigger International stuff in these early years. It's got some big, giant headlights, and it's in good shape. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. No real rust, just a little weathering. I guess this is the donor chassis. He says it's in good working condition. The plus on this is it's got a low mileage, really powerful, modern turbo diesel engine with an automatic transmission. It's just too big for my shop. We'll have to do it here. The fact that we have all the parts for this makes it a lot easier. Typically I have to try to find some stuff, but it's all here, so I'm ready to get down. Everything I have done so far has been show car stuff, street car stuff. Building a cool custom truck is pretty much the same process, but the fact of this is it's got to be strong. It's got to be functional, and that's the challenge. Before I get started, I just wanted to get a quick look at how the cab looks sitting on the chassis. Great to see the cab fit on the chassis. I really like the look of the original cab, and I'm glad I didn't have to cut it up. The problem is, the 48 fenders are set up for a much narrower axle. I made some measurements. I'm gonna widen these fenders 3 inches on each side. I'm gonna weld them all together and then fit it up. I'm already committed to what I'm doing.
We had the body off and laid it here, and in a very, very short order, he was widening the fenders, and I'm going, wow, how involved are we really gonna get?
The whole deal with how this thing is being widened is really just like creating your own puzzle pieces. So I put the fenders where I wanted them and just put in this high-cut piece of sheet metal to just make it happen. Seems like a huge deal just to get these things set up, but that's only the beginning. This is all preliminary steps. All the work I've done so far has been on the outside of the sheet metal. There's a lot of interior stuff, namely the engine and intercooler, radiator. They're huge. Since the thing's all in one piece now, I have to trim back all the excess sheet metal that's hanging around on the inside. My biggest concern with this build is the sheer size of it. It's a big truck. It's like 8 feet wide. So I'm basically just gonna put it on there and we'll see how it looks.
When I first walked in on this cab, I had my little grandson Lincoln with me, and he oohed and awed about it, and Ian liked that, I think.
Might seem silly, but Bill's grandson is here, and having him to review my work really helps out. Everything I do, I like to have sort of a childlike quality, you know, like a big toy. He looks at it, and it's Tonka time. Straight up, let's play. I was stoked to get the cab and the nose up on the chassis. Everything looks like it's gonna work out. It fits good, it's gonna steer. I'm charged, I'm ready to go.
When I saw the cab on the chassis for the first time, I went, oh yeah, this guy nailed it.
This is an old GMC. Looks like it's from the 40s. Whoa, look at this engine. That is what I'm talking about. We're at a truck show for the American Truck Historical Society. It's a pretty cool setup. We're working hard on Bill's truck. He's got some wild ideas for this project, so I came up here to one of their shows to check it out. It's pretty hard to know what to expect, so showing up here, you see that there's all different kinds of trucks, different years, makes, models, etc. For me, it's the variety that's really interesting. I love the older stuff, anything pre-1950, but you can't argue with the huge horsepower in the 1970s rigs.
I just like the variety of things that's here. There's everything from an old camper truck over there that the guy it's like a 50 Ford pickup that he's just cut up and done all kinds of stuff to. Then right next to it is like a 40s auto car that is a tow truck. So pretty impressive, the variety of things here, if you will.
33 Chevy pickup, and 33, you're all kinds of class in that thing. This is my pick. This is the one I'm taking home. I'm gonna get out my checkbook. This is my new shop truck. I don't know what the heck this thing is. I've seen one other like it, but it was a full body. I don't know if this has some relation. Apparently they were made for GM, like at some point, maybe a World's Fair or some kind of promotional effort. This thing is amazing. One of the things I've been wanting to see for a long time are these displays of the weird engines you see, steam engines, some kind of weird misfiring engines. They're more for utility. One guy's got them hooked up to washing machines. Some guy's charging batteries over there. There's a drill press. I would love to do a project with one of those. That would be fun.
I didn't need motivation to get excited about finishing my truck, but this definitely does it. If I could have it on the road next week, it would be great.
Checking out all this stuff, it's been really cool. Bill's ideas have merit. I'm stoked. I was a little concerned when he told me his first plan, but his truck's got a brand new chassis under it. It's got the look of these older rigs, and it's full custom. After checking out this show, it's obvious these guys take their stuff very seriously. I was thinking it might be some kind of hillbilly farm truck we were gonna make, but after seeing the level of detail on these rigs, we gotta push it all the way.
I think Ian was very inspired and liked it. The problem is, in my world, these are trailer queens. They put these trucks on big trailers and bring them. I'm going, what? I want a working truck.
So we get this cab set up on the chassis, and it looks bitchin'. I'm really happy with it. Bill's big concern is getting access to this engine. He really likes the idea of the old school trapdoor style hood. I think we should just go bigger. The whole plan here is the nose of the truck, the hood, the side panels, the fenders, the bumper, the lights, the kitchen sink. The whole deal slides forward and gets out of your way. You want to check the oil? There's nothing stopping you. Helped out on a build of a really cool truck. Showed Bill a bunch of pictures of it, and I think we could use the same formula for this. Just upsize everything. We need to get this so that it's a sliding mechanism. I'm thinking like trailer hitch stock. It's like, see how you got these two square telescopic tubes?
Oh.
If we just had some generic material.
You know, I have some tube down there on the pipe rack that I want you to take a look at that might work for that.
I think trailer hitch stock will be perfect. I thought I had all the parts for this build, but we didn't expect to make a tilt sliding nose. Bill's got a lot of stuff laying around here, so we're just gonna see if he's got what it takes. Looks like he's got a bunch of trailer hitch stock laying up here. So this should work for the slider. He's got more than enough. I wanna make this nose slide forward and pivot. I think the trailer hitch stock will be the perfect thing to make this work. That's the stuff, man. So my idea for the sliding tilt nose, I got this trailer hitch receiver stock, and he has the interior section for that. See, it's different than the standard stuff because it's got rounded edges. So it slides on there pretty nice. I thought I'd take the rust off, but that seems like it acts as sort of a bearing. So this will be incorporated to the truck frame, 2 of them parallel, and then I'll cut 2 sections of this off, and the whole nose will slide forward, and then there'll be pivots here. So it slides off of the front of the truck and then pivots up. It's a telescopic square steel tube. It's super strong. I have a feeling it's gonna work out perfect. All we need for this nose to tilt is a big ass hinge. Straight up, it could be any way we find it.
I have a box of hinges here of different applications of different things we've done.
The fact that these things need to be strong is critical. There's gonna be so much leverage. I can't even calculate how much leverage this nose is gonna put on the hinge pin. Well, this style would work, because these have a very strong center pin. See, all these are just little stamped things, but something like this would be perfect. Like a weldable hinge. I have the idea that gate hinges are pretty cool because they have little Zerk fittings, you can grease them, there's a ball bearing in there, but if it comes down to it, a couple pieces of pipe will work too.
Something like that. These are these small ones again.
These will totally work. They got little Zerk fittings.
Yeah, those
yeah, these are totally perfect. They got a little ball bearing in there to help support it. I've done a bunch of tilt hoods on cars. I haven't used any hinges this strong, so all I could say is let's give it a try. What could possibly go wrong?
After Ian got all the parts together to do the tilt, I get it now. It came through and I understand what he's trying to do. He showed me another truck that he had tilted, but again, this is just a work truck, not a show truck.
My whole deal is proving it by the work. I'm just gonna bust this out, and I know he'll like it. Well, I got the 2 trailer hitch receivers set up. I was able to use the original bumper brackets, which is a huge time saver. The good thing about mounting off the original bumper brackets is this whole unit will be adjustable if you needed to reposition it. Say it got hit or loosened up or something. So this is the part that will actually hold the bumper and the entire skin of the nose of the truck. The whole idea is kind of like a trailer hitch in your car or truck. There's like a receiver, and then there's a piece that inserts into it. You can see here how they'll pivot. What I have to do now is create a cross brace that doesn't attach anything except the hinges so that the whole nose and bumper will rotate around this assembly. I have to widen this bumper no matter what. Bill's got a cool old license plate he wants to use, and I got an idea on how to incorporate a special frame into the front bumper. I guess the challenge is to find a piece that is strong enough to support the weight of the whole nose of the truck. The bumper's 8 inches from top to bottom, so if there was like a C-channel, 8 inches, we could kind of French the license plate and be super strong. We got 6-inch channel, which would fit, but, well, that won't even fit. Huh. I'd say that looks like a license plate frame. I'll just cut the rear legs off of this I-beam, and then we have a surround. That's plenty strong. Some kind of piece of an old tractor. Recycle. The whole thing about using this big chunk of steel, for me, is the strength. This is the center of the entire mounting point of the nose. I know that I can make this thing work. The main feature is that it needs to be strong. The license plate happens to fit, and I think it's gonna work. One of the main things I do in building cars is reuse stuff. It's a challenge for me. I am frugal. If I don't have to buy material, I'm all about it. It's definitely the strongest license plate frame I'll probably ever make. The whole concept with reusing material is that it gives you something you couldn't have thought of in advance. That's my trip, man. That's what I like to do. Find something and make it work. This is gonna be a recessed shape for the license plate to hang out in. The bumper is convex, it's curved on the front. The lip is about the same as this, about 2 inches, but then it curls forward. So I just left a lot of extra material out here, so I can just put each side of the bumper welded in here, and it'll be real strong. This grill's a little bent, so it's a little deceptive, but the whole framework is squared up with the body, so. I guess I'm gonna just cut the bumper right in half and just kind of fit it and see what it looks like. I want these guys to be an even left and a right, so I'm actually gonna just bolt them together through the holes, and I'll make a scribe across so that the left and the right sides are equal. I'm just gonna tack this on. I'm gonna use this line as the top edge and make it parallel with that. Just like backwards, sort of. That's the straightest crooked bumper I've ever seen. I'll take it. Doesn't have to be perfect, just better be real good. It's a pretty cool idea because there was never a bumper this wide. None of those trucks had a French license plate. Nobody's got it like this. The whole thing is it's super subtle. It's like I'm all grown up.
Today I brought the license plate down and he had, as he calls it, Frenched it into the bumper and fit perfect, looks perfect, is perfect. So some of my apprehension is going away. Yeah, I like your license plate.
Yeah, it worked out pretty good.
Custom license plate.
So the, you know, the bumper's still kind of banged up, but you could body work it.
We'll clean it up a little bit, yeah. No, I think it looks great, man. Ooh, a lot of work,
Yeah. I don't think Bill really wanted to go full bore with this truck, but my kind of crazy is contagious. After Bill saw that tilt bumper, he was all about it. All right, this is more like it. Usually I'm laying on the ground underneath stuff. I feel a little more in my element. So all I'm gonna do here is we still have the hinge that's just floating. The big structure in the center is something I'm gonna tie into. Just gonna find some kind of a bar. Maybe I'll use the 2-inch stock we have, and I'll just weld it on, cut those braces away, and it should pivot. It's a pretty badass saw. This 2-inch tube is attaching on the far end to that big center section that I made, which is super strong. And it's gonna come across hit the tab on this hinge and also hit the bumper itself. So it'll be like a 3-point bracket hidden inside. Puts a little more strength in the whole assembly because even though you can't see it because everything's squared, there's a lot of triangulation in here. It helps with moving forward and backwards and up and down. All right, so the last part of this is getting the sheet metal attached to the pivoting bumper. The truck was a little bit off level. I'm not sure what's going on there. So that could be in the suspension. All I did was put a floor jack under the axle and I got the whole bumper and the chassis leveled perfectly. Fortunately, there was this car lift here, so I just attached a piece of that to the cross bracing and kind of strapped it off to the motorhome over there and just got everything squared up. A little pushing and pulling, but now that it's in shape, centered, and level, I'm gonna just build a frame at a 2-inch square, same stuff we've been using. I'm gonna make an arch that goes up underneath each side of the fender, and then just build some kind of gusseting around that just to grab all the sheet metal so it doesn't get out of shape when it lifts. So you got this old bracing in here. My idea is to come back right near the slider there and then arch up around, grabbing that original brace and also having something up here in the top of the center of the fender. This truck was not set up for anything like this. The engineers never imagined this for this vehicle. So I'm just building like a whole new front of the frame, basically. It's a bunch of jigging up and making sure everything's square and then attaching it to the chassis so that it's strong and in line. So the whole idea is as this bumper's pivoting, this will pivot as well, but it'll offer support to the sheet metal. So I'm gonna do that on both sides, and then I'll follow up with those arch shapes. I've seen Bill come peeking around. You know, I've been hard at work. I think he's a little skeptical, but that only fuels the fire. That's making me want to make this happen. Yeah, the idea with using these curved pieces is by putting them through that machine, it makes them incredibly rigid. It puts a lot of stress in it. So these, along with a few other gussets, will be the support of all the sheet metal inside. The way that this curve comes in is going to be perfect. You see it intersects the original bracket in the fender. I can just trim that back, weld it up, and I'll make a miter joint down at the bottom here. It'll work out good. Once I built this subframe with the sliders and all the armature to hold it, it was freaking heavy. It's gotta be incredibly strong. It's gonna have a huge amount of weight. The other times I pulled this off, there were cars. You could just grab it by hand and slide it. This is Big Bertha. It's heavy duty. Once I got the under structure in place, I had to move on to the gravel pan. It was the last thing I needed to do to see if my idea was gonna work. The original truck has like this splash pan, gravel pan, whatever you want to call it. It's like a trim sheet metal that goes between the bumper and the fenders. All right, so I'm gonna try to splice these pans in. The dimensions from the fender to the bumper are a little bit different. And there's no real reason to use these except that I like the little design. It makes it look a little more old-fashioned. The frame spot doesn't really match up as it did in the other one. I'm probably just gonna cut them in half and piece together what I can. It would have been 10 times easier to just take a piece of steel and fill in the area where the gravel pan is. It's little things like this gravel pan modification that are my signature. See, this got split in half before it was all taken apart, so this guy will just weld right up to the grill like that. I'll lap it onto the bumper, steam it in, cut it right through there, move it over. This little bump doesn't line up with the frame, so I'll probably just make a new shape to cover the frame that'll sort of represent what was there. right, so we're gonna cut her up, weld her in, get her done. Trying to use the original stuff because it's got these cool embossed ridges in it, and that's really gonna sell it. When somebody looks at it, it looks old, factory stock, but it's mutated, and that's really cool. There's a lot of work in getting this to fit, but it's worth it in the end, I know it. Something's happened with that fender in the past where it's all out of shape. So what I'm gonna do is just space these guys into the bumper so that they're the same distance. These bolt holes are a pretty good guide. I was able to pretty much just grab the fender and yank it, and it's about 1/4 inch off. So I'm just gonna put a little pull on it. I'll put a temporary brace, weld the pan in, and it matches. Got the majority of the pans put in. You can see I still got to fab up these center pieces from where they split and got wider. But before I go any further, I just want to verify that this is all going to work. As soon as I got the majority of the gravel pan fabbed in, I just needed to see this thing tilt. This is the end of the mock-up. This is the moment of truth. Par for the course. All of this work, I finally get the thing ready to tilt, and it's stuck. Bill's standing right there. It's just perfect.
It wouldn't move. It wouldn't move. And I went back to the, damn, it's so heavy, we can't do it. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, now what?
When you got 5 million welds, your percentage of some attaching themselves to the cab is increased, so in the end, that's what happened. The thing would not hinge open because it was welded shut. Like that. And it'll pivot up. Like that. There it is. You got a tilt nose.
It is just awesome. Really cool. Everything I hoped it would be.
Going for the KO, but I hung in there. I was bobbing, I was weaving, I was ducking. Pulled it off.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears by that young man right there.
Once I got the hood tilt understructure and gravel pan in, I went on to the hydraulics. It's a pretty trick. Just this one piston on one side slides the whole thing forward and then tilts it up. It's super simple hand-operated pump. They put this little pump back here behind the cab and it works just like a floor jack. It's slick. The great thing about this design is it doesn't rely on the truck engine to operate. It's totally manual. The truck breaks down, you can still open the hood. We talked about maybe motorizing this, but if the truck breaks down, you got no power, how do you open it? So he came up with this hand pump. It's pretty cool. And that's it, it stays open. It's pretty wild. Once we got this hydraulic pump in place, it operates smoothly. It works great. It took a little doing, but Bill's convinced. It works and it looks bitchin'. I'm just gonna disassemble the whole cab and take it off of the chassis. It's ready for bodywork, so I guess I'll just unbolt everything and catch up once it's in the bodywork. I wasn't looking forward to bodywork or paint on this, but just seeing Bill so excited, I knew it had to get done.
This went further than I expected, and I had to sell the white truck that is my one and only roll-off truck to fund this. So now we're kind of in an urgency to finish it.
Trying to get this thing as clean as possible. We really bondoed out almost the whole body. The roof was in horrible condition. And then we went in and sanded everything inside and out, wire wheeled it. So I'm just gonna wipe off the last bit of the dust and primer it. I'll just primer this, then we'll set it back on the chassis and just make sure everything fits before we paint it. That way nothing chips when we assemble it. The whole idea with test fitting the body is to make sure that the procedure works, namely getting the thing up in the air with the forklift without screwing it up. And we wanted to check that the intercooler wasn't in the way of the nose when it's shut on the body, and all the gaps were good. Once it's painted, you really can't modify anything, so it's important to test fit everything. Cool, we'll check out this intercooler. Let's see if it works. Because the nose of that truck cab is so much narrower than the later model donor we're using, I had to cut the tanks because the grill is very narrow. So I cut them, plated them, and then we ran into another problem where this corner was too wide still. So I cut a little diamond shape out of each side. Hopefully it fits. That's the really cool thing, is it sits in the little saddle like somebody from the factory made it. All right, Captain, lower the drawbridge. Say, that's a nice truck you've got there. So any little adjustments we have to do once it's painted, it's no sweat. You know, we'll be away from the paint. That's all I was worried about. Such an intense project like this, it really helps when the original mechanical parts remain intact. With the intercooler, the steering, everything else mechanical, it really helps out in the end when it's all stock. We're just gonna do a few more coats of primer, sand, then paint it. After that, it's assemble and drive. I find it easier to just put like a whole bunch of stuff all over the table, and it's kind of like a cooking show, you know? I don't really know what I'm doing. Just as long as it's green, I'm gonna spray it. Put a little of that, shake of that, stir in some of that over medium heat, and bake for 30 minutes. I think what I'm gonna do is just put a big heavy coat, first wet base coat on the roof, and then I'll move over to the doors after I get the first coat on the cab. Got this thing painted, assembled. This truck is clean. I mean, it's really badass. I wish I could drive it. The cool factor is that it's super subtle. The few people who've seen it are just blown away. Just because it looks like a stock truck. I mean, it's hard to tell. And you do the special hood and you show them what's going on. And it's cool. I can't wait to take this thing to a show. The thing I like most about it is the front view. Obviously, we know the fenders are widened, but you don't think that when you look at it. You just think, what a freaking big truck.
There's not one thing I would change on this truck. I love everything about it. A lot of that is due to Ian and his persistence and his fabrication.
My job was all the heavy fabrication and assembly, and then Bill got down on all the accessories and finishing parts. He polished out all the stainless steel, got some bitchin' aluminum rims, got the special mirrors, the chrome horns, the air cleaner. I mean, he knows what a truck needs to be legal on the road, so he fitted out with everything DOT approved and all the trick, cool looking stuff too.
Oh, the best thing is, of course, the tilt front end that I was very apprehensive about. You know, it's just awesome. I mean, I've showed it to people and they go, really? How does that work? Well, works like this, and you just pump this hydraulic jack and it tilts and goes out. But people that are not even car or truck people are very like, wow, it's just something way different. And that, of course, is the best part. And that it still has the old look. When it's rolling down the road, you can't tell the front tilts like that. But when you stop and you tilt it, cool.
The cool factor, it's a real question mark. That's the whole thing. It's people look at it and guys who know trucks are like, there was no Rolloff trucks in 1948.
I think Ian, as time has gone along and I've done the little things that I've done to it, he now gets that it's going to be a working truck. I don't think he really got that before because he's never built anything like this. It's mostly show cars and toys. It's a show truck and it's a toy, but it's a working all of that. It's a multi-functioning truck. It'll function as a flatbed truck, a dump truck, a van, does everything. And that is the beauty of that truck. Yeah, I just use it mainly as a toy. If my wife were here, she'd say it's an expensive toy, which that's okay. It pays for itself and I have fun and that's what life is. But the truck itself worked perfectly. I'm very happy. I'm very happy with it. Turned out great.
In the end, I mean, Bill is stoked. He's super happy about it, and I'm jealous. That means it's a good project.
Right now on Full Custom Garage, Master Metalman Ian Roussel built a chopper-inspired trike from the ground up.
The whole concept with this bike is giant rear tires, long extended forks, total 60s, 70s Ed Roth style trike. Outlaw stuff.
With his hand on the throttle, Ian's not slowing down.
It's all about making this thing look badass. You see a lot of trikes out there, and it seems like it's the look that they miss on. I really want to make this thing shine.
And later, Ian's wild ride hits the brakes.
Like most things, best laid plans never seem to come to fruition that easy. We're in Ventura, California. It's the Chopper Fest. Just looking around, see what's happening. I got a couple ideas of a bike I want to build, and I'm just seeing what's out there. Seems like the bike world's taken a couple turns in what's popular with style. For me, the 60s, 70s, the chopper thing that was going on is really the core of it. Traditional bikes have a really lean profile, and of course they got stretched out just to be crazier. That's what I'm into. I want to build a bike that reflects that. The thing I like about these bikes is it's all fashion. They probably don't ride that good, but damn, they look bitchin'. The forks are all stretched out, no suspension, rigid frames, really stretched out forks, just crazy ideas on wheels. A big part of the chopper scene were these straight four engines, Hondas, Suzuki's. Denver's Choppers was building frames for these kind of engines, and I just think it's cool. I want to take that element of a really long bike, but make it a three-wheeler. Trike conversions have always been popular for motorcycles. It's really hard to get style into this three-wheel design, and I'm just gonna push my skills and try to make it happen. The whole thing I'm gonna try to do is build a trike that's badass. The problem I'm having with all the trikes I see is it just looks like a pile of stuff. It wasn't forethought. It just looks like they took a motorcycle front and stuck a car on the back. And I'm just trying to move through that. I want it to look like a motorcycle. My whole gig with the swap meet shopping is really just looking for anything cool. I'm not dead set in what I want to build, so I just might find the thing that sets the tone. Looking around at this swap meet, I'm thinking handlebars, seats, gas tank. If I can find some existing stuff from the 60s, it's going to make my job a lot easier. I'd rather not have to make everything. If I can find it at the swap meet, then it's just way more progress. I'm walking away from here with a lot of cool ideas. There's still haven't found the right parts yet. Chopper Fest is a great show. I got a bunch of cool ideas. After seeing a few trikes out there, I think there's room for improvement. I have an engine from a '79 Honda Goldwing. It's a motorcycle motor and transmission. I want to mate it to a car rear end. My friend Don, he's got all kinds of cars and trucks. The last time I was over there, I remember seeing a rear end from an El Camino. I think they'll be perfect for this trike. Yeah, this would be perfect. I'll just clean this up and bring it home. Trying to get this trike built in 2 weeks. There's a big bike show coming up. I want to bring this thing there. 2 weeks for this project is really fast. I've been thinking it through in my head. I got a lot of plans. I think it can happen. Good as new. The whole concept with this bike is giant rear tires, long extended forks, crazy paint job, total 60s, 70s Ed Roth style trike. Like crazy cartoon character just jamming down the highway, outlaw stuff. Trying to use parts that already exist, it's easy in some ways, but in other ways it's more difficult. They weren't designed to work together, but you know they do work on their own. For me, the process is having an initial idea and then just building most of it just kind of on the fly. So finding something that exists and modifying other pieces to work around that idea is the quickest way to do it for me. I need to take this whole axle apart so I can narrow it. It's got offset differential. I really want to make the thing as narrow as possible, so I'm going to have to shorten the axles individually. I want the tires real close, right up next to you where you're sitting. The coolest thing about the motor and rear axle on this is it's a motorcycle engine coupled with a car rear end. That's cool. The issue I'm facing is that the output shaft of the transmission is about 4 inches off center. I guess what I'm going to have to do is narrow one side of the rear axle more than the other. I think the easiest way for me to figure this out is just mock it up with the tires and just see how narrow I can get it. This is the real deal. OG 1970s Krager SS. It just fits the whole 70s thing I'm doing. You can see how wide this thing is. It's just, I want something very compact. The thing I have to figure out at this point is I have my direct center where the 2 axles at this point meet dead center. This differential is gonna move over about 4 1/4 inches. So I think what I'm gonna do is make this axle 6 inches narrower than this one. Through all my calculations, it says that that is correct. I think something like this. That's considerably narrower. So you see the reason now, it's pretty apparent why I put these little legs on here, because they're all still at the same height. I can just move it, re-weld it. The axle housing looks perfect. It's got different length axles, it's offset a bit. I think it's gonna work. I narrowed the housing to what I needed. This bike has an offset differential, so I just ordered a couple axles that were machined to fit. So you can see, considerably shorter than the originals. This is the test fit. Hopefully it's good. It actually fits. Number 2. Well, I'll be. It actually works. Wow, I mean, it works. It totally works. I'm always hesitant to let stuff leave the shop, but the machine shop did it perfect. It looks great. It's gonna roll. This rear U-joint matches the rear axle, so that's a GM part. And I just happened to have this old U-joint from a 49 Ford laying around. So I welded them together so that it's like a miniature drive shaft. The thing about the U-joints is the only way I'm really gonna know if it works is after it's done. The shakedown run, that's what's gonna tell the tale. The way that I've been building things, it's really found objects. It's used parts, old stuff, things that really have no purpose being together. I could just buy a motor and transmission and rear axle from a supplier. They sell Trike kits all day long. For me, the turn on is trying to get this thing together with all these unique parts that don't go together. I'm gonna go visit my friend Gary. He's an old school biker. I know he's got what I need.
I've been in this building here for 36 years, and he mentioned something about what he was doing and on a bike, and I said, wait a minute, I think I have something buried here that you could possibly use.
Long time no see, sir. Best thing about having friends like Gary is he's been around forever. He was doing the thing when this was popular, so I know he's got what I need. Coming to steal the forks I've been hounding you for 10 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
I spy. Here they are.
Aha!
Yeah, I was going to do a project with them, and I never got around to it. And no sense of letting them just die.
Right on. They're definitely old and used, but they got good grease in them. These are perfect, man.
I've reached a point in age where, you know, I got to start cleaning some of this stuff out of here. You can collect only so much, and then you go, what are you ever going to use it? No. The Z-bars?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are a wall hanger.
Right. These are the real deal. These are old school. These parts are great. I just need one more thing. I looked right next to the ladder, and there it was. An Invader rim. That's an Invader rim, sir. What the heck? This is old school too, man.
That'd be perfect for that front end.
Tire looks like brand new. This is exactly the flavor that I was going for, man. You want the right stuff, you gotta go to the right people. Totally fits. It's exactly the combo.
I didn't even realize that.
It's perfect. The whole flavor of the thing is 1970s wild chopper stuff. So the forks are period correct, the handlebars are from that era, and I even got a front rim and tire. It's a good setup. It looks like it could have been back then. It's like a time machine. Well, it really helps, right? So I gotta polish all this stuff up, then assemble it. I mean, I'm not gonna re-chrome any of this stuff. It looks great. I'm just gonna clean it, steel wool it, polish it. I want it to look like it was from like a leftover, you know? Total survivor. I think these are perfect. I built this thing like 20 years ago. It usually sits in a corner, but sometimes I just ride it around, you know? It helps me think. It's really all the same thing. I mean, I'm just trying to get into some kind of a groove, get the feeling, and move forward. This is a creative project. There's no blueprints. The whole deal with the mock-up is that I could see it three-dimensionally. It's really hard for me to sketch something, but seeing it on the table, all laid out, I know what I'm looking at. The whole concept with the mock-up is being able to make changes. It's really hard to see what it's gonna look like until all the pieces are in place. It allows me to adjust the wheelbase, move the handlebars, do my hair, you know, whatever it takes to make it right. Yeah, this is a little too low and stretched out. I'm definitely gonna bring the tire in and the handlebars up. This is just the flavor I'm looking for. It's got that 70s chopper look. This thing totally came to life. I mean, it's still just sitting there on the table, but I'm already cruising on the highway. This bike has a solid rear end. It's a rigid, it has no rear suspension. I need a comfortable seat. I was looking around for seats, motorcycle seats, horse saddles, wheelbarrows, anything. That would almost work. To upholster the whole thing. No ordinary seat's gonna fly for this. It's gotta be something really cool. That's not the seat. It's hard to know what this seat's gonna be, but I want something unique. It could be anywhere. People sit on a lot of stuff. Seats are around here somewhere. Just gotta find them. You know, it just occurred to me, I've been sitting, working for 10 years, 8 hours a day on this freaking work seat. I think it's perfect. I want the seat to be right on the axle. As soon as I put it in place, I was like, wow, it's low back, really wide. It's perfect. I'm gonna put the seat right on the rear axle, so I'm gonna bend a hoop and set the seat. That way I can sit on the axle, put my hands on the bars, and decide where they should be. Using this 2-inch round tube for the seat support, I'm building the whole frame out of this. It's 1/8-inch wall, it's super strong. I'm just gonna twist it up and make my own frame. So I made these 2 little saddles out of a 3/4-inch square tube. They're gonna sit right on there, and that should be plenty secure. This is what I'm looking for, kind of low, kind of forward. That way with the rigid rear axle, you know, you're not leaning back and it's not beating up your back. It's gonna be a pretty rough ride. So like this, at least you got your own little internal spring working. Wind in my hair, bugs in my teeth. Here we go. I'm just working through getting this frame welded up. I really want to spend my time on the bodywork and the gas tank. You're not gonna see the frame at all. It's not a feature, it's just a structural element. It's got a rigid rear end. It has no suspension in the back. So the only thing that's gonna give is the headset, the Springer forks. There's no shocks, so it's gotta be a strong frame. I think I'm gonna set up the top tube in the frame so that the gas tank sits above it. Like you see the Frisco style choppers with the gas tank above the frame. I kinda wanna reflect on that. Most times you'll see like a straight backbone that comes through straight up into the headset. I put a little bend in it because I don't want a big like tunnel through the gas tank. I want to put as much fuel in here as possible. Because it's going to be a Coffin tank, I was thinking it would just follow the line of this bend. You'd have a big open shape that held a lot of fuel. So this is the look I'm going for. I see the 2-inch tube backbone, 1.5-inch uprights, and then I'm putting a big gusset around through the headset. I'll weld it in all the way around so it's big, chunky gusset holding the headset in place. The whole idea of the Trike, it goes back to when I was a kid. I mean, all the cool kids in the neighborhood, they had big wheels. Everything I build with these far out proportions, it all goes back to that. When I grow up, I'm gonna have the craziest freaking Trike or the wildest hot rod ever. Coffin gas tank is iconic. Late 60s, 70s, chopper stuff. I want to build a Coffin tank just like I saw in the magazines. So this is the start to the gas tank. Just laying out a couple quick measurements of what I want it to be. At this point, I'm just eyeballing it. You know, I'm putting out a center line, I'm setting up the top dimension of the tank, and I'm just gonna put it in the sheet metal brake and fold it, see how it looks. The main reason for using cardboard or hard paper is that you can create a three-dimensional mock-up of what you're building. It's way cooler than some computer-generated image. That's pretty cool. That'll work. What I'm building is a take on this classic Coffin tank, they call it. Has flat sides, kind of faceted, sort of like a diamond, or like a coffin. The Coffin tanks are pretty basic because they're just flat panels bent on a sheet metal brake. It's pretty simple. No English wheel, no special hammers. You just bend flat panels and weld them together. See what the hem edge does? Makes a really rigid end to weld on. Just as an example, when they're welding together, you'll have two of these heavy edges folded over double. You can see how if I bend it, it's going to interfere with the next panel. So I got to clamp these to the table and fold them with a hammer. This is pretty cool because it shows that you don't really need all the fancy tools to do this type of thing. This is the last bend. This type of fabrication really reflects everything I've been doing, is just try to figure it out and make it happen. I've never had the luxury of so many fancy tools. Sometimes you just gotta go backwards, like this. A couple pieces of tube and a couple clamps. Done. This type of gas tank's kind of old school, no special forming, it's all flat panels. The key here is making sure it's all welded solid. If the welds aren't good, it's gonna leak. If it leaks, you're on fire. That's no good. I like to use the MIG welder to spot weld all the panels together. It's really quick to mock it up with the MIG. Later I can TIG weld it and then it'll be liquid tight. Looks good. Oh yes. Starting to look like a motorcycle. Yeah. See, the idea is if you break down, you can just roll home. It's pretty easy. The next step is to create these little inner fender wells. Obviously, I don't want to be rubbing on those things. It's tight. Keep the pants off the tires. Just a little extra guard. I'm always open to using existing parts. Sometimes it brings you fresh ideas. Just thinking about what's around. My friend Bill's got a set of tractor fenders, and they might be perfect for this. I love the idea of a freestanding fender. There's nothing for these things to attach to, and it's exactly the way a tractor fender's set up. Now this is what I'm talking about. It's crazy because this tractor has almost the look of the little seating position that's gonna be in the Trike. These fenders, I might just take these and modify them. It's exactly what I have on the Trike. The seat right here, the tire's very close, and these do the same thing as I'm talking about. You see the rubber, and they just protect the rider from falling into the tire. That's it. Nobody's got fenders like that, baby. You're in your little chamber. Oh, you're definitely protected from the tires. But, they look absolutely ridiculous. These fenders are not gonna work. These fenders are a little too Flash Gordon for me. It just makes me think of a clown with a big tie on, you know, big shoes. It's just not cool. It's gonna look comical, and I'm not looking for that. My plan is to duplicate this design, but smaller, half size. I'm gonna use a round rod all the way around the perimeter, and then finish it off with a sheet on the surface. here is an improvised arch maker. I need to create a radius around those tires. There's a lot of ways to bend tubing. Sometimes I just do it primitive. It works for me. Weld the end, flip her over, and roll out the barrel. This rim made the ring too small, so I'm just gonna stretch it out on this tire. It's always easier to open the arch up than to try to shrink it down. So the idea here is to get this to be about just a ½ inch or an inch off of the surface all the way around the tire, kind of like here. So all you do is just start to beat on it. Right about there. So this puts an even ½ inch perimeter all the way around. Now that I got these hoops around the tire, the rest of the skeleton of the body is going to be the same rod. So I'm just making some pieces that go around the tire and hold it up. Now I'm going to set up a couple little braces so that these hoops don't fall off the tire. Really, the only way you can create these shapes is by eye. You just put it in, give it a little twist, put it back on. So I'm going to create a little sheet metal edge that'll come from this side to this side and just put a little crown in it. This is why a man would want soft cardboard, for those very delicate areas. So my plan, cut the steel a little bit bigger. This is just a rough guide. I got some pretty cool air shears. Eastwood sent them over. They work perfect. This is one of those instances where you realize you can never have too many clamps. You can see it swings down and then out and then back around. And it's all one panel. It's going to be a lot easier when it comes to bodywork because there's no welded seams. Some people may cut it on the highs and lows, but I just swung it right around. In the end, I'm going to paint these fenders so they look like some kind of a carnival freak show. I want it to look like you're locked in on some kind of a wild ride. It's getting closer. The whole idea with the fenders, you can see now, your legs ain't gonna rub. It's perfect. You got just enough to keep you off of that. You still got your wheelchair action. It's pretty cool. Something about the bars that were on the forks, they just looked a little too small proportionally in relation to the rear tires especially. I just want the bars to be a little bit more forward and not so down in the wrists. I want them kind of straight out. I feel like with those giant back tires, the handlebars should be a little beefier. So I'm gonna make them out of this 1.5 inch round. See on the top of the bars how they come backwards towards the rider. I don't want that much angle. I want them to be a little bit more forward. I want a little bit of pullback, so I'm just gonna put this piece of bar stock under it. And I'll set up the angles like so. And that should be good. Just kind of winging it, whatever looks good. If they don't look good, I'll make another set. How's that sound? Right now, I'm just trying to make sure that they're both even. You don't want one limp arm, right? So I'm keeping these angles parallel, straight through, and then they're the same distance off the table. And that's all there is to it. Another issue with the forks that were on the bars was the risers. I thought they looked a little bit too spread out. I wanted something right down on the headset so that the springs really showed. These are the risers. They're gonna weld on the bottom of the handlebars. Instead of bolting on like those, it'll be a clean, clean look. See, I welded the little nut inside. Then there's the bottom plate. Makes it very, very strong. Feeling it, man. I'm feeling it. Born to be mild. The bike's really coming together. It's got the flavor. The handlebars were like the final touch with the fabrication. It's on. Now that the fabrication's done, I'm really starting to think about some crazy paint job ideas. But even that's getting ahead of myself. I need to make sure this motor runs. It's been sitting around for a while, and I hope it still works. This build's coming along great. The next big thing I gotta deal with is the engine. So I'm gonna try to adapt a Volkswagen carburetor to this Honda engine. I had this thing laying around. I just put a rebuild kit in it. Aside from my personal belief that everything should have a bit of Volkswagen in it, they're basically the same shape engines. A VW is a flat 4 boxer motor. The Honda Goldwing's the same thing. From the factory, the bike came with 4 independent carburetors with a big junction box that was the air cleaner. It was really well designed for maximum performance, but they're gone. In looking at the Volkswagen motors, they have a center carburetor with a long runner connecting both cylinder banks, and then they have a short splitter like on the dual port manifolds. It seems that they tried to make this as even and short as possible. So I'm gonna try to replicate that. Bought these U-bends, and of course they're not the right radius. They don't match from cylinder to cylinder. So the first step is to cut them so that they fit the existing intake from the Honda. The Honda motor and a Volkswagen motor, this style, are pretty similar. I don't see why this intake wouldn't work. Those 2 half circles you see coming out of the castings will get welded together, and then there'll be a port cut on the inside edge of each of them where the crossover tube mounts. Next, I'm gonna make a tube that crosses over the engine. After that, just make a riser for the carburetor and weld a base plate on. I'm using the same size tube and making a cross member that goes left to right on the engine. It'll look kind of like a dog bone, but I'll put it upright in the center of that holds the carburetor. It's gonna go 10,000 miles per hour. It's amazing. This intake is just a shot in the dark. It's my best guess, just like everything else I build. I'm just winging it. Found this cool little air cleaner. It's more just like a wire screen, but I modified the end of it so that it fits the VW carb. And now you understand why the frame has that strange shape in the front. See, that sits just like that. Pretty slick. So all I need to do now is just make a tube that goes up and holds the carb. Like most things, best laid plans never seem to come to fruition that easy. This isn't gonna work at all. I didn't take into consideration the way the throttle linkage is gonna hit the manifold. Pretty much married to the idea of the intake being this shape. I gotta come up with a way to make this work. I think I'm just gonna make a curved tube that sets the carb a little bit forward. I had intended it for it to be right on top of the intake, but it's gonna be a little bit offset. Yeah, the motor's rigid mounted, it's not gonna shake, so the carb won't hit the frame. It's all good. Bitchin'. I think it looks great. It's exactly what I was thinking. You always gotta jump hurdles to get there. In the end, it's what I wanted. Now that I got the intake squared away, I'm stoked. It looks like it's gonna go. I don't know if it's gonna work. It's time to try to start this thing. It's the moment of truth. All right, let's try to give it some fire. Every internal combustion engine is pretty much the same theory, so I knew somewhere it wasn't getting electricity where it needed it. No spark. There's this red wire just sitting here. I don't know if that goes to power. There's a little thing in here. It's no more ignition points. So this magnetic module needs power. That's what it is. Aha. So somebody changed out the points to this cool little electronic ignition. I had this whole motor rigged. The wires were twisted together. There was no fuel tank, no exhaust. I don't even know if there was oil in it. I just wanted to hear it go. Prepare for start. As soon as I put power to that red wire, like a light switch, it started right up. Next step is to get the tank and the fenders painted. Pull this motor back out, shine it all up, run the fuel lines, electricity, and ride it. This bike is bitchin'. I'm really stoked. I mean, it totally works. It feels good, it's got plenty of power. I couldn't have done it better myself. It's perfect. If you just want to have fun, enjoy something, goof off, this is the bike for you. The whole thing with this is to look like a giant toy. It looks like a big wheel. It's one thing to think about a project, but to see it right there, it's great. It's what I live for. My whole thing is just trying to push it, trying to push the boundaries. It's easy to make something that's already cool. I want to do something new. Paint's really kind of a loose interpretation of like a psychedelic 60s chopper kind of thing. You know, it's got the pearlies and the flakes and stuff. I just thought it fit. I mean, I think it works really good with the bike. You can't go wrong with an octopus gas cap, and that's like next level. It's a squeaky toy, it was a dog chew. It looked like a gas cap. The whole rear of the bike was really just something to take your eyes away from the radiator. It's a really simple setup. It's just a mesh screen, covers the radiator. There's 6 exhaust tips, 3 on each side, some cool, old school British taillights, and that's it, bodywork. It's a liquid cool bike, so I really just tried to make it look like a royal throne. That was the chopper vibe. Throne on wheels, and hey, there it is. I just finished the Trike. I brought it out here to the Bourne Free Show to reveal it, and it's on. Born Free show was the perfect venue to take this to. It's just mellow, good vibes, great show. I feel like this show really embodies that 60s, 70s hand-built bike vibe. You see a lot of really long bikes, thin tires, everything that was happening before the mass production.
I have a Trike myself, a chopper Trike Ironhead. And this one here is totally hand-built. It's one of a kind, totally unique. Whoever put this together knew what they wanted as opposed to anything else. I mean, you're not going to see two of them. And we're looking at the drive shaft on this, going to the rear end axle. Just it's totally unique.
I've always built Japanese bikes, and I noticed this had an old Goldwing motor in it. That's from the same era as the bikes I build, so I came over and took a look at it. I like all the angles, you know. I like a style of bike called a digger, and they had angled tanks like that, you know, like mid-70s sci-fi type of stuff, and I noticed that before I even realized it had the Japanese motor in it. Once I saw the Goldwing, that just topped it off. Didn't notice it until we stood here, but it's got a seat off a lawnmower on it, you know, and it's perfect. Nobody would ever guess, but I mean, he did the same thing, just home built, different ideas, and it works perfectly.
The whole thing behind what I'm doing is it is meant to be displayed. It's meant to be exhibited, thrown out there for everybody.
It's pretty sick. You can make a Honda Goldwing look cool.
And a badass Trike that's like super short. I don't think it's probably pops wheelies like no other.
A lot of ingenuity in it, very clean.
The reason I wanted to build this Trike in this 70s style is because I guess the 70s style bike was a little more experimental, it's more creative, and I just like that aspect of it.
It's kind of like the weirder it is, the more it sticks out. So.
Yep, yeah, more people like it.
It's hard to describe exactly why I need to do this, and that really is the proper word. I need to do this. As I understand it, you only live once, and for whatever reason, I need to build these things. Being at a show like this, the Born Free, it really turns you on. No other way to put it. These guys have it nailed. It really makes me want to build something else. The next thing I build is really defined by what's laying in the scrap pile. That's how this thing was built.